Anxiety is real, it's heavy, and for many people, it's clinical and deeply rooted. But there's another kind of anxiety that doesn't get talked about enough, the anxiety that comes from drifting, from not knowing where you're going, from not having the direction. Because when your life lacks clarity, your mind fills the gap with fear. You immediately establish empathy and nuance, critical for credibility. Welcome back to the Marcus Allgood Show. I appreciate everybody listening and watching and sharing the show. And if you get some value out of it, please smash the like button and share it. But I really appreciate each and every one of y'all that listen. And when I had the gym, I mean, it was like 2013. I really, I didn't call it, I didn't call it anxiety back then. I just didn't have any direction. And I really felt like this overwhelming desire to do something, but I didn't know what it was. And probably because I didn't have any direction. And I still have some direction, but I don't have the full direction. We're always looking for the direction that we need to be going. Some people find it early in life, some people find it later in life, and some people never find it. Two kinds of anxiety: clinical, chemical, trauma based anxiety. So you got the medical, neurological, the deeply rooted, requires support and treatment. That's going to be from a psychologist or some other professional people that need to you need to sit through and talk to and figure out what's actually going on in the brain and what's actually happening to you and what's causing these things to happen. But then you have situational or directional anxiety, uncertainty about life's path. I've had that. Lack of purpose or goals. Definitely have had that. Feeling stuck. Sometimes I feel stuck in today's times right now. Lack of momentum. Living reactively. You just react to everything, not proactive about anything. You're just living in the moment almost. Things come up and you have to react to them. Nothing's really planned. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what the future holds, and you have no goals. Like that is what we're talking about today. The situational, directionless anxiety. You're not denying the first. You're exposing the second. A wandering life creates a wandering mind. And when you get to that wandering mind, a lot of times you're going to have the shiny object syndrome and everything's going to look like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, I should be doing this, I should be doing this. And sometimes I feel like I have that because I'm doing the podcast, I'm trying to do some social media, I have the coffee shop, and then I have real estate. I have four things. Like, what would happen if I cut it all out and just focused on one? I don't know. I kind of want to, but in today's times, you got to have social media to have a business. Could I cut the coffee shop out? Yes, because I mean, I meet people. Is it really something that I'm just dying to keep? No. Uh, the real estate, I'm actually having a lot of fun doing the real estate. Just went and looked at a couple houses today. I saw one investor, then did one without an investor, but it's still fun. I enjoy the real estate side of it. I really enjoy that part, and I really enjoy the podcast. So I do like making content. I don't like editing it. That's probably the hardest part, but I am getting a little bit better. But the fact is, I think three of them would be good. But I mean, what would happen if I did focus down to one or two? We'll never know. At least not yet. Maybe a few more years from now. So what happens when you lack direction? Without direction, every decision feels heavy. You really question yourself on every decision that you're doing. The future feels foggy. And I had that with the gym. I have had that pretty much just growing up and with every job I had. I've always felt like there was something else out there. There was something else I was supposed to be doing. And I couldn't ever figure what it was. And the future just felt foggy. I didn't have a clear path. And then I would listen to these gurus or motivational speakers talking about you have to have clarity. You have to have clarity. You have to have clarity. And like this word clarity kept beating down in my head. And I could never figure out what it meant or if I had it, if I was heading in the right direction. And we'll do another podcast on clarity in the next few podcasts coming up. Progress feels random. It definitely always felt random. Self-trust drops. I would not trust myself for sure. Overthinking rises. Fear fills empty spaces. And then once the fear starts setting in, that's when the brain really starts to ignite and start firing these little lies to you all the time. So the brain hates uncertainty. So when life has no clear movement, the mind starts scanning for danger. It's going to tell you that you're going the wrong way or you're doing something wrong. And most of the time, it's not that way. And when you don't know where you're going, everything else feels like a threat. It just feels like they're coming after you. It's almost as though like when you go from point A to point B without GPS and you have no clue which way to go, you think you're going to, like the whole time you're thinking you took a wrong turn or you missed the turn or am I sure I'm going right? Like all these negative thoughts keep popping into your head. But when you have the GPS, you just start talking or listening to the radio and you don't care. And all you're doing is listening to that little voice saying, turn left, turn right, your turn's coming up, your destination is on the right. Like the GPS, like that is clarity. It is clear. It tells you where to go. But when you don't have the GPS or the roadmap, you don't know where to go, and all the fear and anxiety and all the negativity starts setting in when you don't have the direction you need to go. So why does the direction reduce the anxiety? Direction creates structure, movement, focus, predictability, and measurable progress. You can always see that you're getting closer. So that GPS, when you're watching it, it says your destination's 5 miles away. Then you're going to see 4 miles, 3 miles, 2 miles, 1 mile. Like, you know, you're getting closer and closer. So the direction, the progress that you see lowers the anxiety level of, I don't even know if I made the right turn or not, or am I even getting close? Like, how far am I? Did I pass it? We've all been to that one. We've all passed it. We've all taken the wrong turn and went down the back roads. And the GPS will set you free from all that noise that's going on. And progress is calming. Like, it calms the soul, it calms the brain, and lets you focus on what you need to focus on. Even hard goals reduce anxiety because the mind knows I'm moving somewhere. I'm moving closer to the goal that I had. I'm going in the right direction. So people feel less anxious when they're training for something, building something, working towards something, committed to something. So in my training right now, I'm doing a lot of running, whole bunch of running. And I could see the path. So back in April, I couldn't see the clear path of what I wanted to do or how fast I wanted to run or anything like that. I was just out there trying to run for these with the plan that we came up with. And I had no clear expectations of what I was doing except for trying to go run high rocks. And I didn't know what it was going to feel like. I didn't know how bad it was going to hurt. I didn't know how fast I could run. And so now, after the first high rocks, we know what we need to do. We have a clear plan, some strength training mixed in with 3 days of running. And our running is that we're following on the Run app, and we are basically running to run a half marathon by the time the high rocks race comes up. And today I did 9.5 miles with some interval training, like a little conversation pace, a little bit speedier miles, conversation up and down, up and down. And so now with the training, like I know I'm running 11 miles next week on Saturday. And the whole week I'm running 11, 21, 22 miles. And so that sets my brain up knowing that I'm getting closer to high rocks, that I'm getting fitter, and my times are getting better. And so there's less anxiety buildup and there's less drama going on in my head about, am I fast enough? Am I getting fitter? Am I running good? Is my running going to be good enough for high rocks? Am I going to bonk during the high rocks? Am I going to die during high rocks? Like, knowing that I can run a half marathon now in a decent time, probably like in 2 hours, 2:10, that's going to set me up for a really good time for high rocks. And it's not because, like, when we talk about all these different things, it's not because life is easier. It just becomes life is more clear. And with the training, it has been more clear. And because it feels like it's easier knowing that I'm on the right path. I'm like, there's no anxiety. We're going to keep saying anxiety, but no anxiety built up saying, oh my gosh, how am I going to feel when I do this? But if I know I can run a half marathon in a decent amount of time, I know I'm going to be really good at high rocks when it comes time to throw down on those 1,000-meter runs and get after it. Signs your anxiety might be direction based. You feel stuck but not broken. I always felt stuck for a long, long time, but I wasn't broken. I always wanted to do something else, but I've just felt stuck. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what this clarity thing was. I didn't know how to find the clarity. I didn't know how to get clear on what I wanted. You feel restless without reason. You overthink small decisions. You feel behind in life. I always felt like I'm behind in life. I still feel like I'm behind in life because I'm 48. I don't know where I'm supposed to be at 48, but I compare myself to other people at 48 and I feel like they're more successful, or I compare myself to some people that aren't as successful as I am in my book, but they actually might be happier, or there's different levels to everything, and you got to be grateful for what you have. But you can overthink these things and you can just feel behind in life. But if you set the path right, you shouldn't feel left behind, because of the fact that you're running your own path, you're running your own race, you're running your own way through life, and you got to just be grateful you get to do it. And you compare constantly. I compare constantly, and I shouldn't do it. I'll admit to it. Compare my podcast to other people's podcasts, compare my social media to others, compare my coffee shop to others, compare my real estate career. Like, it's a terrible thing, but it's a human nature response. But you still have to get locked into gratitude to be able to compare and still be happy for what you got. You lack meaningful goals. I do have some really big goals, and I do have some less meaningful goals that I don't even really care about, that I don't really do. You feel lost, not unsafe. Like, there are still some times I feel lost. Like, I still ask God, what is my purpose on earth for? And so sometimes I really want to get into the fitness industry, more about talking fitness and I really want to be an accountability coach. I don't want to be the person that comes up with the workout plan. I can come up with a diet plan, but the workout plan is more it's not the thing I want. So I want to find something that has workout plans I could just put together, like piece together for the client after I talk to them, but then just be their accountability partner and hold them accountable. Like, that's what I like to do. I love holding people accountable for working out, eating right, and just being in a fitness mindset. Sometimes anxiety isn't danger, it's direction missing. It's like some of the most successful people. Look at Elon Musk. He's still missing direction in his life. That he has as much money as he can. He posted on X the other day that money can't buy happiness. Like, where's he at in life? Is he happy? Is he not? Is he sad? Is he lonely? Like, there's all sorts of different things that you have to look at to have a successful life. And I have 5 things that I need to write down that when I can figure all 5 of those out, that's going to make myself successful in my eyes. Is it going to be successful in God's eyes? It might be. I don't know, but it might be his plan. It might not. I don't know. Modern life and direction loss. Today's world creates drift, endless options. We have so many options. The shiny object syndrome is real. Social comparison, we all do that. Delayed adulthood, we do that. Like, I was probably well into my early 30s before I really figured out how to be an adult. Comfort abundance, lack of rites of passage, no clear milestones, just out there winging it. I just went to a house today, and the guy had a kid, but he still lived with his mom, I think, in this garage that they converted into kind of like an ensuite that had a bathroom and his bed, kind of like a 1-bedroom studio apartment without the kitchen. And I was thinking, man, my life ain't so bad. Like, I have a loving family, I have a loving wife, I have 2 loving kids, and I'm very grateful on what I get to do and where I'm at in life. And so sometimes you just got to take a step back, reevaluate everything you have in life, and just say, man, maybe I do have it really good. Maybe I am in the right path. Maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It doesn't feel like it sometimes when you're in the moment, but looking back, you can say you were in the moment 2 years ago, knocking it out, like living the life that you wanted to live. But it was so stressful, and you were comparing yourself to everybody else that you just couldn't see how good it was in front of you until you get past it. And then you look back on it, you're like, man, that was really good. One of the times was when I had the gym, and we had this crew of, it's like 5 different guys. I'm still friends with 2 of them and talk to them all the time. But we didn't know how good we had it. We're just working out 2 hours a day, coaching classes, having a good time. It was amazing. And those are like our glory days. It wasn't high school. It was those 3 years of CrossFit, Sidewinder, just having a good time, working out, just getting fitter, just doing stupid workouts. It was awesome. It was such a good time. So people aren't guided into direction anymore. They're left to choose everything alone. And that freedom creates anxiety. And that's really true. Like, if you don't have the direction, like we've been talking about the whole time, it's going to create anxiety. Like if you're just out there winging it, like I probably had it. It's probably why I drank so much, because of the anxiety we felt. We didn't call it anxiety back then, but we just were so lost in life, we didn't know what to do. So how do I rebuild the direction? How do I rebuild direction? You got to choose a path imperfectly. Clarity comes from movement, not thinking. You got to be able to take action on what you want to do. You got to commit to something measurable. Training goals, career milestone, creative objective, and a health target. Like mine, those are probably like my top four. A career milestone, I don't really know yet. Training goals, training for high rocks, and just being healthy and having my blood work come back right and just looking good. I really want to look good. And then health targets, just eating right, blood work again, and then creative project, just figuring out the project of life, I guess. And so you got to reduce the open loops, finish things, decide things, and close things. And I was sat there in the coffee shop the other day talking about open loops. Like you have to close the loop. Even if it's a day later, your brain's going to close the loop. So if you leave your brain open on a bunch of different loops, you're probably not going to sleep very good. And that's causing the anxiety that you feel to not be able to sleep, because you can't close that loop. And sometimes if you get it and then actually come back to it, you'll close that loop and you're like, oh, my brain feels so much better. But definitely try and close all those loops you can. You have to create structure. Routine reduces mental chaos. Routine is not the enemy. Routine is what you need. Discipline and routine are not the enemy. Just stick to it. Stick to the routine. It doesn't have to be some lavish routine in the morning where you got to do ice bath, hot yoga, blah, 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 blah. Like if your routine is I wake up, I work out, I eat breakfast, I get the kids ready, I go to work. Like that's your routine. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. That routine works for you. If you start listening to all these gurus where you got to go into the ice bath, then you got to get into the hot tub, then you got to get into the sauna, and then you got to, drink your Metamucil, not even Metamucil, but all the green stuff. Like there's so many different things that these people want you to do that it takes you 5 hours for a morning routine. Like it's just not sustainable. It doesn't help you. It's not going to do anything. Like most of those people that made it have already made millions of dollars, and they're just sitting back on their returns that they have to, and that this is what they think they have to do. When they were trying to hustle, they weren't doing all that. So momentum is medicine. Moving toward move daily towards something, because the movement is medicine that you need for life. So the truth is, direction doesn't eliminate anxiety, it organizes it. It's gonna create less chaos and make your brain feel better. So an important grounding reminder: not all anxiety comes from lack of direction. Some comes from trauma, chemistry, and real mental health conditions. That deserves compassion and care. But if anxiety feels like restlessness, stuckness, or drift, direction may be what you're missing. Direction may be what you're missing. Think about it. Like really think hard, write it down, talk it out, put it on a video, however you got to do this to be able to watch it again or read it again and figure out, make 3 columns and figure out what's bothering you and is it mental? Does it need a psychologist, or is it something that you need to do just to get clear and have some direction? So the closing challenge I have for you today: if you feel anxious about your life, ask yourself this honestly. Am I unsafe or am I unclear? Because fear and lack of direction feel similar, but they have different solutions. You don't always calm anxiety by slowing down. Sometimes you calm it by choosing a direction and moving. So think about it next time you're feeling that anxiousness. Is it because you don't have any clear direction, or is it because you're building something up that you don't need to in your mind, because you can figure out a way out if you just have the clear direction? I appreciate everybody watching. Share it, and that's the pod. Thank you.